Hello YouTube, it's Brekke from BrekkeWrites, and this is my House Read-a-thon TBR. The House Read-a-thon is a readathon in the month of February where your page count helps support your Hogwarts house. I will have a link down in the description box for how you can register for the House Read-a-thon and how you can register to support your particular Hogwarts house. But basically, it doesn't matter what kind of book you read, it doesn't actually matter how many books you read. It is all about the number of pages you read in the month of February and tracking those to support your house. The house with the most pages read wins the House Cup for this month. So I'm pretty excited. I think it is a great readathon, and I think it goes perfectly with another readathon that is later this month, which is Tome Topple, since Tome Topple is all about reading big books rather than a large number of books during the readathon. This readathon, which is all February, is a perfect readathon to go hand in hand. This TBR is for the whole month of February, and the books I'm hoping to get to that will qualify for just the House Readathon but will not qualify for Tome Topple, I will have a separate video for my Tome Topple TBR, so my books over 500 pages. Now, if you haven't noticed and you didn't guess, I am a very proud Ravenclaw. I believe that wit without measure is man's greatest treasure. My husband is also a Ravenclaw, and so is my oldest son. My second oldest son is a Hufflepuff. So in addition to my Tome Topple TBR, I'm hoping to get to at least 2 of the 3 books on this TBR. And those 3 books are Sophia Khan is Not Obliged by Aisha Malik. This book has been on my TBR for a really long time. In fact, I actually read to page 130 a few years ago and then set it down and never picked it back up again. Not because I didn't enjoy it. This was actually a really fun read. It's about a Muslim British girl who is working in London and is trying to date while being a religious Muslim in an environment that's not always friendly to religious Muslims. It's not a serious book. It's not an issues book, if you will. It's definitely a rom-com. So I am wanting to pick this up again and see if I still enjoy it and really see if it's a book worth keeping on my shelves. I've had this book since I went and visited a friend of mine in England 5 years ago, I think. So I got it at Foyles. I had heard about it from BookTube, in fact. It was all the rage for a while, and then it sort of disappeared. So I want to read this. I want to finish it. I want to see if it's as good as everyone says, and I'm excited that this is the perfect month to get this one read. The second book for the House Readathon is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Now, this is on my 2020 annual TBR. This is a book that I definitely want to get to this year, and I think is the perfect book to read in February. It is a perfect book for Black History Month since it deals with contemporary African American issues. I think it's a good one for me to finally finish. Like Sophia Khan, I put this one down and didn't come back to it. I am ready to come back to it. I'm ready to finish this. I'm ready to see what happens to Star and her neighborhood and her family. So February is the perfect month, and the House Readathon is the perfect readathon to finally finish this one. The third and final book I'm going to try to get to in the month of February for the House Readathon is The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. This one is also on my 2020 TBR, and this one has been on my shelves for a few years. I love this cover. I really enjoy Nicola Yoon's writing style, so I'm excited to read this. This is about a boy and a girl who meet in an airport. I believe one of them is about to be deported, and they have a whirlwind 24-hour romance. Think. So I'm excited to read this. I'm in the process of drafting a rom-com myself, so to read something that falls in that sort of family of books makes me excited. Nicola Yoon is also a Black author, and again, February being Black History Month, reading women of color feels like a really appropriate thing to do. This feels like the right month to pick up all these books that I've wanted to read anyway, and to celebrate women of color, and to particularly celebrate African American women. So I'm excited to read this one. I'm excited to finally get it off of my TBR and onto my regular shelves. So this is my February House Readathon TBR. I know it's not the most ambitious of TBRs, certainly not for me. I used to have like 16 books on my TBRs once upon a time, but this one feels realistic. I am in the process of drafting and doing some light revisions to my current work in progress novel, and I'm actually hoping to use February to do a beat outline of my next project. So I do have a lot of writing projects. I work full-time, I have 4 kids. This was like an actually attainable TBR for the month of February and for the house readathon. So this Ravenclaw is pretty excited to read all of these books. Comment down below and let me know if you're planning on participating in the house readathon. What Hogwarts house are you? Are you a Ravenclaw? Will I see you in my team, or are you in a different house? I would love to see all of you guys participate and to see what you're all planning on reading for the month of February. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all later. Bye!